Boy, oh boy, did Ronald beestinger Savage go in on Hassan Campbell. It wasn't funny. Honestly, it was actually scary. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe that Ronald Savage would handle Hassan Campbell if they ever came face to face. Let's get into it, shall we? Good evening. It's your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you straight out NYC on this bright Sunday evening. It's only 15 minutes after 8 and it's still bright outside. So I'm indoors and I'm going to tell you something. This topic that I'm going to discuss, I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit troublesome when I first heard it because it was very serious in the tone that I thought, and I still think, if Ronald beestinger Savage ever comes in contact with Hassan Campbell in person, I do believe he will rock his ish, if you know what I mean. First, I want to give a shout out to every single person that uploaded the live of Ronald Savage going in on Hassan Campbell through these past couple of days and even weeks. I want to give a shout out to Monty Woodgrain because he did a live on this particular topic a couple of days ago. I believe he live streamed it on Thursday, and his is very detailed. I have to say that this is long overdue. Hassan Campbell has been talking about Ronald Savage really bad off and on for the past 5 years. This month really marks half a decade, believe it or not, since Hassan Campbell's been going in on Ronald Savage. Now, I'm going to give everybody an actual history lesson of how all this went down. Okay, so as you know, I am a Star Report regular watcher. I was subscribed to the Star Chamber going back to 2011, 2012. And then when Star would have his other live channel before that on YouTube, when he was interviewing like different people in hip hop, and when he had White Trash Helene, some of the people that was from the radio days. He even had Buck Wild a couple of times on that. So this is like his third inception of his YouTube channel, so to speak. But when Star Troy Terrain had the Star Chamber channel before it was taken down, April the 1st, 2016, it was a Friday, Ronald Savage basically called Star and said, you know, there's something that I really want to reveal that people should know. And he said, I got molested by a hip hop icon. So Star basically said, come Monday, I'm going to give an exclusive report from a person who got molested by one of the pioneers of hip hop. And so when the story was going to break, he has said, this is a big one. And he said, this person came to me. So he said, Monday, I'm going to drop the interview. So Monday, he dropped the interview. Ronald Savage came forward and basically he revealed it was afrikabambaataa. I will never forget where I was. I was on my way to work and I was basically walking to work. And when I heard what he said, I paused. I couldn't move for literally a minute when I heard it. And this wasn't just the only interview he ever gave Star. He gave Star at least about 5 or 6 interviews off and on that month. Then there was another man from the Bronx who came forward. And he was part of Zulu Nation when he was young. Then there was another man who he had basically lived out in England. Bambaataa was molesting him as a teen when he used to travel back and forth to England. Okay? Then there was another man that basically gave an interview. And then you had the man that basically was murdered, who was part of Zulu Nation. I can't think of his name at the moment, but he gave interviews with Layla Wills. In between the man who was murdered and the other guy who was number 4, there's a video that drops of who we would know as Poppy, Hassan Campbell. And he's in the car talking about how the Zulu Nation went to the Nation of Islam's 20th anniversary event, but y'all allowed Bambaataa to molest all these boys, including me. So his video, many people thought it was old. It was current, but in fact, it was 6 months old. Now, Hassan has always stated that he was the first one to come forward. He was the first one to make the video back in October of 2015. But he was not the first one to come forward with Star. Ronald Savage was the first one to come forward with it on a, you could say, international platform, because YouTube was international. Had it not been for Ronald Savage, believe it or not, this story would never gain traction. So when Ronald Savage gets mad at Hassan Campbell for insulting him about his looks, insulting him about being Casa Sose, insulting him about being a fraud, insulting him about saying that Mickey Beatson and him collaborated to basically do a scheme to get Bambaataa taken down over money that Bambaataa owed Beatson for years of services. And the only way he was able to successfully do it is if he would get a video of Hassan Campbell talking about the molestation. So it was sort of like a blackmail scheme that Mickey Beatson and Ronald Savage had going, according to Hassan Campbell. Okay? So Hassan Campbell makes these videos about it around June of 2017. It's half a decade this month. That's half a decade this month marks all this crazy stuff going on. Ronald Savage said, if it wasn't for me, you would not be the big YouTuber you are. I made you relevant. And I'm going to say something. I've had my issues with Ronald Savage. I've actually seen him in person 3 times on 125th. I've seen him in the post office, and I've seen him twice on 7th Avenue. He's not that tall. He's not ugly as Hassan says he is, but you can tell that he has a disability. Like, you can tell. It's not fake. He's not a Casa Sose. Now, Ronald Savage, in my opinion, I believe him 100%. He did make Hassan relevant. He did. Because this man was on the front cover of the New York Daily News. Hassan was on the back of the New York Daily News, the Sunday edition, which was April the 17th, 2016. I'll never forget that because I bought that issue, okay? You can open it and see that Ronald Savage has 2 pages, okay, in color. Hassan Campbell only has an insert, a small photo, okay? Ronald Savage was the center of the story. And a lot of it did have to do with the fact that Ronald Savage was an elected politician. He was a committee man. He was on the, he ran like the Democratic committee for the Bronx district in New York State. So he was a politician. He just didn't have a higher office where he was basically paid salary. Hassan basically got bigger on YouTube because of the fact that Hassan was more current in Zulu, whereas Ronald Savage walked away from Zulu, number one. Hassan had worked in security, and going back as far as 2015, there's videos of Hassan still being in security, okay? Also, keep in mind that Hassan Campbell was taken up by a lot of people in the Zulu nation. They was calling him Poppy, this, Poppy, that. They actually had love for him. Many people didn't really know Ronald Savage. So what happens is Hassan starts making videos on Facebook before he started making videos on YouTube, because I first was watching him on Facebook. Then I was watching him on YouTube. Then I found out through one of his wife's family members that Hassan was a person to stay away from. That's a whole nother story, whole nother topic. But beginning wise, his channel by June of 2017 only has 6,000 subs. But the beef between Hassan and Sonetta, accusing him of trying to get him murked by Tafik, and then the Ron Savage accusations of him being a fraud, Kaiser Sose, and that the collaboration between him and Mickey Beatson doing this and taking his video when he actually squashed the situation with Bambaataa and a zulunation involving molestation was only due to Beatson wanted money, and it was basically like a blackmailing scheme. That's what really got his numbers starting to really pull up, those two incidences. Then he started beefing with Carl Albert, Michael Edwards, Conscious Observer, and then so many other people. But by that time, which was like September 2017, I stopped watching his channel completely up until the pandemic happened, with the exception of the live with him and Derek Williams. Okay? So there was a lot of things that I missed. There was a lot of things I didn't know that I started finding out last year. So, getting back to Ron Savage. Ron Savage had a breakdown. He threatened him. He basically threatened to turn off his TV. Okay? He said that he would kill him. Now, you can say what you want about all the other people that beefed with Hassan Campbell, but from the videos that I've seen people talk about him, I've never heard them say that they would do that to him. Ronald Savage said he would do that to him. And the scary thing is that Ronald Savage is actually in closer proximity to Hassan Campbell than any of the people that Hassan Campbell has really beefed with. Okay? Ronald Savage lives in the Bronx. Hassan lives in White Plains. That's like less than an hour away. And the fact that this dude put his address on live, if Ronald Savage was to really break down and really consider doing this and be committed to doing it, he could do it successfully because he knows where you live. See, when you do clownery, you got to be careful because there's a great possibility that the clown will come back to bite. This man didn't talk about you, Hassan, after 2017, up until you started talking about him again, making your rounds on different people's platforms, okay? Talking about this man's looks, talking about the fact that he doesn't twitch, that he doesn't really have Tourette's, okay? Talking about how anybody who would give birth to that would be crazy to take it home. I mean, you are one of the most despicable YouTube personalities ever, okay? And like I said, I've looked at Ronald Savage differently in a lot of ways too. He's not innocent on certain things. Snacks in the Night, the accusations of him basically talking to young girls, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I think that the bill that he was promoting, he dropped the ball on that. And I think both people dropped the ball when it came to getting afrikabambaataa prosecuted. They dropped the ball. And a lot of people 6 years ago invested in a lot of this story, like myself. And I believe that all of us got played. I'm going to be honest. I do want to say that the man who actually went forward with the federal investigation, that basically the story broke in September of last year, I give him credit. Okay? But to me, Ronald Savage and Hassan Campbell, they both dropped the ball. However, Ronald Savage, I'm going to say this. I don't think he should have said the K word, but I don't blame him for barking on Hassan Campbell, because Ronald Savage is right. I made you relevant. I made you relevant because that video that was posted on Facebook, how many people really watched it before April of 2016? Ronald Savage came out with the story publicly in 2016, but he came out with a book about it, I believe, 3 years prior. The book, his autobiography, didn't mention Bambaataa, but the autobiography didn't really sell well independently until 2016. So Ronald Savage did make a lot of money from the book eventually. But Ronald Savage, as a YouTube personality for years, never really popped. He's just now popping now because of Snacks in the Night. In parentheses, I eat them up. I can't. But Hassan has not come forward to respond to Ronald Savage saying that he will turn off his TV. He hasn't said anything. Matter of fact, he's posted videos that's so irrelevant to what Ronald Savage said about him. Hassan is scared of Ronald Savage, I believe. He is scared of him. Because if you listen to the tone of what Ronald Savage was saying, if you listen to how he delivered it, the man is not playing. Okay? All the people that Hassan Campbell beef with, Hassan would go on live, talk about them, or he would like confront them on the lives via, YouTube or Instagram. But this, Hassan hasn't stepped to him through a live at all. Hassan got punked by Ronald Savage, in my opinion. And I believe wholeheartedly, 1,000%, Ronald Savage won this. And if Ronald Savage was to see Poppy, I will tell you personally, based on me seeing him physically, Ronald Savage would knock him out with just one punch. Ronald Savage got big hands. I've seen him in person. He would knock him out. He's not that tall, but he's very broad shoulders. He has a long torso. That's what makes him tall. But he would knock him out. And let me tell you something. Hassan really don't want it with that man, because Ronald Savage could easily walk because he has Tourette's, and he could claim mental illness. This man is harassing me. This man is talking about me dirty. He's, calling me names and stuff, and I can't take it. And with Hassan's track record of bullying people online and just talking despicable, and what he did to Nipsey Hussle's legacy and all that, who's really going to be believed? People gonna automatically go with Ron Savage, and then too, Ronald Savage is a politician. Okay? So he has a whole network of people that would support him. Hassan is he's a boy who cried wolf type of person. He says one thing, but he does something else. And nobody basically takes him serious anymore because you didn't come through with what you said. And then you disrespected your family through the years. And you do all this for YouTube clout. And with that being said, I do want to see afrikabambaataa still be brought to justice for what he did. Because I believe that he did all these things to these people. But the reality is, more so with Hassan Campbell, is that you were more of a willing participant after a while, even more so than Ron Savage. Okay? Because the one thing, if you notice with Ronald Savage, what he said, Ronald Savage said that he did not want to do it. Okay? If you ever listen to Hassan, he never said that he didn't want to do it. Okay? And when he talked about the all boy orgies, it was like he was talking about it in terms of like being in a strange way excited over it. And then traveling with him around the world, different places, doing security. Maybe not the world, but definitely like working with Zulunation in the country. It was basically an opportunity to really have access to wealth and fame, or being adjacent to it. You know what I mean? And he said he loved him. He was like a father to him because he bought him groceries. Ronald Savage never said anything except for he paid him with White Castle meals. You be the judge of it. Maybe that's why Ronald Savage really hates him, that the fact that this man got clout from this story because he came forward and he's parlayed it into a 6-figure annual income. What did Ronald Savage really get out of it? You know? So that could be the real root of the breaking point that Ronald Savage has had when it comes to Poppy. And Hassan don't want none of it. He don't want the smoke, which is why he hasn't said anything about it. And I believe the upcoming weeks, you're going to hear even more lives from Ronald Savage. But Ronald Savage, whatever you do not try to turn Hassan Campbell's TV off. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And this man will try to basically, if he has to, he will try to destroy you and discredit you. And I don't want to say the other thing, but Hassan is demented. And I do believe that Hassan has, through the years, lined people up. And that's all I got to say. I know this was a long commentary, but when it comes to Hassan and his shenanigans, you know, I will say something and I will talk about it. But this one, Ronald Savage went in, and rightfully so. Just don't try to turn off anyone's TV, Ronald Savage. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. And I'm signing off. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.